Sup y'all, it's Rissa and welcome back to our weekly series where we do a 5-minute review of a game that we've played on stream. This week, Ariana and I played The Past Within together on stream, so let's talk about that. The Past Within was released in November of 2022 and is the latest in the Cube Escape series by Dutch studio Rusty Lake. The Cube Escape games are surrealist horror escape room games that are heavily influenced by Twin Peaks. There are 10 games in the Cube Escape category and 6 that are specifically around Rusty Lake. That's a lot of games. All of the games are cross-platform and can be played on the computer or on mobile. The Cube Escape games themselves are free on the App Store and Google Play, and the Rusty Lake games are very cheap on mobile and Steam. I've played almost all of them on the channel now, so I'll link that playlist below. The Past Within can be played with no internet connection, and the players can play on any device and still play together, which I think is awesome. It makes the game accessible to more people, which is always a plus in my book. Let's talk plot. No spoilers, but, well, to be honest, if I told you spoilers, you probably still wouldn't know what it meant. So let's start with the series at large to give some context. The main storyline is about Dale Vandermeer trying to solve the murder of Laura Vanderboom. The Cube Escape games are little vignettes into that story, starting with playing as Laura before her death, then as Dale investigating. You can grab the whole collection on Steam for a very low price, and I highly recommend it. The 3 Rusty Lake games, Rusty Lake Hotel, Rusty Lake Roots, and Rusty Lake Paradise, are all prequel games about Laura's family, and they are a trip. I'm talking cannibalism, corrupted souls, and immortality. Vanderbooms truly have it all. We learn about the entire Vanderboom family tree that contains reincarnation, resurrection, murder, sacrifice, and one person being born via test tube. Yeah, their family's even more messed up than ours. I could honestly spend all day explaining the series, but we only have 5 minutes, so I'll leave it at that for today. In The Past Within, we are playing as Laura's mother, Rose. And when I say we, I do mean both players. One player is Rose in the past and the other is Rose in the future. The premise of this game is that Rose in the future is communicating with past Rose so that they can resurrect their father, Albert. Past Rose is collecting samples from Albert to send to future Rose so that she can resurrect him in her time, the distant future of the 1980s. So our job is to work together to solve puzzles to make the resurrection of Albert possible. No big deal. Let's talk gameplay. All of the previous games in the Cube Escape series are single player. However, The Past Within is co-op. What's really cool about this co-op is that, as I said before, you don't have to have an internet connection to do it. You and the other player choose who is in the past or the future, and choose between the butterfly and the bee for gameplay purposes. This makes sure that you're both playing the same game, which is super cool. The puzzles all require communication between the players to solve. You don't have all of the information to solve it all on your own. This means you get to try to describe puzzles to one another in hopes the other person has the answer. While this might be frustrating to some people who may not be on the same wavelength as the other player, I found it very helpful. Often when I'm playing a puzzle game like this, I can hit a bit of a brick wall in my understanding of the puzzles. Having someone else to help me make sense of the puzzles made the game more enjoyable for me because there wasn't really a time where I got frustrated not being able to figure something out. The player in the past sees a room in the original style of the games, but the player in the future sees a cube in a 3D style where you can rotate around the cube. At one point in the game, you switch styles, and it's honestly super cool. Ariana and I were both like, whoa, that's what you're seeing?
Oh, so you've got my type of animation now, and I've got what you had.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
The game has the same kind of surreal horror puzzles as the previous games, where we cut off ears and pull teeth for nefarious purposes that the player has no choice but to do. It's incredibly fascinating and grotesque, and honestly, I love it. So what did we like about the game? Honestly, most of it. It was engaging, just difficult enough to be fun, and we felt really in sync with it. Though, to be fair, we basically played it on easy mode because we're practically the same person. It might have been frustrating to play it with someone else, but for us it worked really well. What didn't we like about it? I mean, the only thing I can think of was the fact that the room in the past had a flickering light for a while, which can be pretty bad for people with photosensitivities. I'm glad that it didn't give me a migraine, but I can see that if I had been in a darker room, it might have. So, all in all, this game was fantastic. I highly recommend the series in general, and the games are all very reasonably priced. The games all intertwine in the best, most horrifying ways possible. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you like this video, make sure to give it a big ol' thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to watch us live, you can follow us on Twitch. The link to our channel is in the description below. If you're interested in Nancy Drew themed merch, make sure to check out our Etsy in the description as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Peace out, y'all.